So, the Nintendo Switch presentation has just finished, and I didn't come into that with very high expectations. I didn't really expect it to be amazing. I didn't expect it to be breathtaking, but I also didn't expect it to be absolute shit. So, my expectations were kind of in the middle. And I just released a Twitter poll to my Twitter followers asking them how they felt about the Nintendo Switch. And so far, the results, I mean, only 5 people voted so far, obviously, because it just happened. I just released the poll a minute ago. But 40% of people say thumbs up, 40% people say thumbs middle, and 20% of people didn't watch. Again, more votes are going to come in. I will update that count by the end of this video. But there are a few things I wanted to go over with the whole Nintendo Switch thing. There were a few things that I took notes with that I want to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about, it's very important, the fact that the battery life for the portable Nintendo Switch tablet thing, it's 2.5 to 6.5 hours. And that's a bit scary because 2.5 hours is embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing, especially since they kind of sacrificed their processing power and they sacrificed their hardware capabilities to be able to have portable gaming, a hybrid between portable gaming and, regular console gaming. So it's a bit scary that it's 2.5 to 6.5 hours. Even 6.5 hours isn't all that impressive. I mean, it's okay, but it's not that impressive. And the fact that it's in the range from 2.5 hours to 6.5 hours, that's not good at all. The battery life doesn't seem that great to me. I'm kind of concerned about that. But anyway, let's talk about the $299 price. So it costs $300 in the US. I believe it's 29,000 yen in Japan. And they didn't really say how much it cost in Europe for some reason, probably because the different currencies that are used, the euros and the pounds and whatnot. I don't know why they didn't reveal the price. I guess they don't do that. I guess they do that all the time by not revealing the price. I don't know. But $300 seems like an okay price. That's how much the base model of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One cost currently. So I mean that's fine. It's an okay price. I'm not gonna complain about how much it costs. But the battery life, 2.5 to 6.5 hours is very alarming. And the Nintendo Network is now a paid service. Sony and Microsoft charge for online, and Nintendo was the only company that did not charge for online. But let me say, though, that the Wii U's online is nothing compared to Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. So Wii U was free, but it wasn't good, and nobody really used it. So I can't really make a decision about how I feel about the paid online. Like, sure, it definitely sucks, especially if you plan on having a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and a Nintendo Switch. It's going to cost you a lot of money just to play online. It's going to suck for those of you. But let's say if Nintendo's like, okay, we have a subscription fee, but it's going to be less than it is on our competition. So it's going to cost maybe like $40, or I mean $50 would be too much in my opinion for Nintendo Online. But if they do $50, it'll still give them a bit of an edge, but not that much, especially since their games, we still don't know. Like, they said they have third-party support, but we don't really know about their third-party support. Like, they said, Skyrim's coming and FIFA's coming, but they didn't really say anything else about multi-platform games that are coming to the Nintendo Switch. So that's a bit alarming too. The fact that we don't really know the games that will be released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One that will also, in addition, be released on the Nintendo Switch. So that's a bit concerning too, because Nintendo promised that they'd have third-party support when the Wii U came out, and we all know how that went. That didn't really have any third-party support at all. And the fact that the Wii U was very underpowered was part of the reason why it flopped. It was a commercial failure. It sold maybe a little bit over 10 million units worldwide, 10 million units in one region is bad enough if that happened, but 10 million units worldwide is pathetic. I think it was 13 million units. That's 8 million less than the GameCube. That's really bad. And the GameCube had much more games and much more support. So, yeah, no, the Wii U was a total failure. I've made my opinion clear on the Wii U over the years and on Nintendo. But let me move on. Let me talk about they have a share button apparently, similar to the PlayStation 4. It's on the controller. And basically the way it works pretty much similar to probably exactly the same as it does in the PlayStation 4. You press the button to capture a screenshot, and it said you can capture video in the future. So I guess that's okay, I guess we have to wait for a future update. Let's hope it doesn't take them like a year or something like that. Like not something crazy. I also hope, but I doubt it, that they'll have live streaming capabilities that like they do on the PlayStation and Xbox. If they don't, then that's a huge disadvantage because you could do that on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And yeah, so there we go with that. And then there was this interesting, very, very, very weird thing where you can feel and hear the sound of ice cubes going into a glass like that. That was very, very, very strange. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like it's very, very, very hard to explain. Like I said, it's like using that those sticks. Forget what they're called. But you know those motion control things that are similar to the Wii, but they also have a whole bunch of buttons on them, and you can take them out of the controller. They're called the Joy something, I forget. But yeah, apparently it has like this new technology where you can feel and hear the sounds of like ice cubes going into a glass or something like that. Like that just sounds like kind of useless in my opinion. Unless they also have other things that you can do with that technology besides ice cubes, like I guess similar to how the PlayStation 4's speakers work. I don't know. And then let's move on to this game, 1-2 Switch. It's the game using the Joy, whatever the hell, those sticks that that take out of that you can take out of the controller. The only reason why I don't know the name because I wasn't very interested in it. All I know is that you can, you take two of them out of the controller, and you can play a game with someone else, and you don't use the screen to play the game. You look at the eyes of your opponent or something like that. Like that sounds a bit strange, not gonna lie, but who knows? It might appeal to some of the casual market. It obviously won't appeal a lot to us core gamers. So I guess I can't really make a solid opinion saying, "Oh, this looks like shit. This is gonna suck." I honestly don't know. I can't say for sure. So and then there's the other game, Arms. It's another game that uses those controllers. That basically it's this weird boxing kind of thing. I could tell the core Nintendo, I could tell the hardcore Nintendo fanboys are gonna eat this shit up. They're gonna love it. Sooner than later, when this game comes out, there's gonna be Rule 34 all over the place with these characters. I can see that happening, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't really have an opinion on those games, but let's talk about Splatoon 2 coming out in summer 2017. I wasn't a big fan of the first Splatoon. I've played it a few times at my friend's house. My friend has a Wii U, and it's not very impressive. Not gonna lie, I didn't really like it that much. But if they're gonna make Splatoon 2 and they're gonna talk about how they're gonna have paid online and they're gonna be really serious about their online service now, okay, fine. And also there are no discs, so I think digital is the only way you can go to buy games. I think they also have cartridges too, actually. But still, it's no backwards compatibility. But the point I'm trying to make is that they're going to have a huge focus on their online service than they ever have before with the virtual console. That's when they first started, taking the online shit seriously and the different Wii channels. But they didn't really take it seriously at all with the Wii U. They were hyping up how great the online was going to be, but it turned out to be shit. And then this one, I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm sure they're going to try to make it to be good, and enough people got to be happy about it in order to pay for online. Like, if PlayStation Network and Xbox Live were total absolute shit and never worked, there wouldn't be people that were paying for it. That's for sure. So, about Splatoon 2, let's say hopefully they have voice chat. They gotta have voice chat. They're so serious about charging for online. You gotta have games that have voice chat. If the game doesn't have voice chat, automatic failure. Automatic failure. And then there was another game that I was actually pretty interested in, or thought was pretty cool looking. Super Mario Odyssey, coming out in holiday 2017. This game looks pretty cool. This is coming from someone who has trashed Mario, trashed Nintendo over the years, talking about how the games are pretty much the same thing all the time. About, how all the games on the NES and Super Nintendo, and later on, like, a lot of the Mario games were literally copy and paste from one another. Except they had slightly different level design and slightly different, things to it. But this game actually seems pretty different from the other Mario games. It seems very different from, I can't really compare it to the 2D Mario games, but at least compare it to the 3D Mario games like Super Mario 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy and those ones. This and 3D Land and 3D World. This one seems very, very, very different than the other ones, and that looks pretty cool. Like being in the city and being all these in these other maps, these other stage designs. They look pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Would I buy a Nintendo Switch for it? No. I'm not a huge Super Mario fan, but it does seem cool. I think it will sell a few units. It will sell a lot more units than Super Mario 3D World did on the Wii U for sure. And then there was Xenoblade and Fire Emblem. I didn't really know much about those games. I don't really follow it. But, and then besides that, nothing else really was too special. I was actually very surprised at how little information was given besides the MSRP and the battery life and the online service and whatnot. And really, there were not that many games that are launch titles. There's Zelda. There's those the 1-2 Switch and ARMS and those other like motion games that are built for casual gamers. But besides that, I don't think there were too many too many launch titles. If that Zelda game wasn't a launch title, oh my god, that whole thing would have been a failure, that whole conference. But let's see the updated numbers. What did you think about the Nintendo Switch presentation? My poll on Twitter that's going on right now. 18% say thumbs up, 18% say thumbs down, 27% say thumbs middle, and 36% of people did not watch it. Which I'm not very surprised because I'm sure a lot of people lost all interest and all hope in Nintendo. But it's actually pretty interesting numbers. Very mixed feelings about it. No one thinks the presentation was entirely good. Nobody thinks the presentation was entirely bad. And I tend to sort of agree with that. I do think that they should have revealed how much the service was going to cost, because if they don't do that before the console is released, that's pretty shady. Because if it costs $59.99 or $49.99, people are going to be very, very, very pissed off. Myself included. I'm probably not going to bother buying it because I already have a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One that I already pay online for, so I'm probably not going to pay online for another service. I'd probably be more likely to buy a PC than to buy a Nintendo Switch at this point, unless there's something really impressive that the Nintendo Switch has to offer. Besides all this stuff, I don't really care about the handheld mobile shit, because, especially since there's a short battery life, and it just doesn't appeal to me. I just don't really care about on-the-go gaming that much. I don't want to get jumped on the subway, or jumped while I'm in the park, because there are going to be a lot of cases of that happening. We all know that's going to happen. But besides that, I don't really have too much of a strong opinion. I think it was very lackluster. I don't think it was very impressive showing. I'm not going to say the Nintendo Switch, though, looks like shit and it's going to fail. I can't really make that judgment quite yet. So I'm not completely shitting on Nintendo. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, Nintendo's going to fail again. If I had to make any projections, I would probably say at the very least it's going to be more successful than the Wii U was. Probably not as successful as the Wii, though. Maybe more successful than the GameCube. I don't know. And I don't know about any of the other systems that Nintendo's released in the past, but it's supposed to be a hybrid between mobile gaming and home gaming. And let's just see how the online service is, if it's worth paying for. If it's not worth paying for, then people need to speak their mind, because people talk about how Nintendo's such a pro-consumer company. Well, I know a lot of people aren't going to say that anymore after today. And, I don't know. I really don't know anymore. I think they stepped their game up a little bit, but I don't think they did it enough, honestly. And oh man, I feel so bad for that translator that was trying to keep up with the Japanese. Oh man, didn't do a great job. I think he probably got fired. I'm not too sure though, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But for now, I think I've said my piece. I think overall, my thoughts are that the Nintendo Switch presentation overall was not very impressive and did not convince me to go out, pre-order the Switch, or go get it when it comes out, whatever the hell. Especially since I think there are less launch titles on the Nintendo Switch than the PS4 and Xbox One. And PS4, Xbox One didn't have many launch titles, so that's not good. But at least Nintendo will have a bit more online capabilities. You know, the fact that they're charging it for online is not very good. They said that there will be a free trial in the beginning, so that's cool. And I also remember them saying distinctively, like, I remember distinctively hearing about this that kind of made me curious. Nintendo said that the Nintendo Switch, you can add your friends online and talk to your friends or whatever the hell by using a smart device. So does that mean that you need to download an app or something in order to do that? I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong, but that's what it sounded like to me. I hope that's not the case. But besides that, I mean, nothing really intriguing happened. Just Mario and Zelda, games that I'm not really that fond of. And the MSRP is fine. But the paid online thing, I can't make a complete decision about, but it will turn a lot of people away. For sure. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Nintendo Switch. Let me know what you guys think. And before I end the video, I'll give an updated poll number. See how people think before I end the video. Yeah, 17% thumbs up, 17% thumbs down, 33% thumbs in the middle, 33% didn't watch. So it's very, very, very down the middle. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. It's been going on for a bit too long now. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.